Hi, my name is Keith Hatchett. I'm the CEO and founder of a great company called GoInsurancePAL. We are your problem solutions in the area of healthcare. Insurance in this country is so messed up. People get low deductibles with their healthcare and the price is through the roof. They get a really high deductible to get the price down 75%, but when you have to use it, you owe $10,000 out of pocket. What we're going to teach you today is how to get enrolled in a program with our company that gets the price down 50%, gets the benefits up 100%, and we're also going to teach you how to get someone else to give you the money to pay your deductible. As you know, the Affordable Care Act has got a lot of good things, but it has a lot of bad things to it. There's people out there that want to get it changed and get it adjusted where the price comes down, but they want the benefits back good again. They want you to go to your doctor. What we're going to show you today is how to do all that. So let me begin today by encouraging you to get a notepad, a piece of paper out, and take notes while we talk about this. So once again, I want to state to you, your insurance guy or lady is not a bad person. They just they're stuck. They just don't have a place to put you. You can have a $1,500 a month house payment-like insurance premium for your health insurance, or you're going to owe $10,000 out of pocket and a potential $2,000 co-insurance when you have to use it. Neither one of these are good choices, and that's why most of you out there today you just don't like insurance. It just makes you uncomfortable. You really don't understand it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to teach you the GoInsurancePAL way. The first thing we're going to do, it's kind of like sports. We're going to give you a defense first, and then we're going to give you the requirements that you must make the minimum standards for your family, and then we're going to put the offense in place and teach you how to get your price down, and get your benefits up, and get someone else to give you the money to pay your deductible. So if you'll get your notepads ready, let's get started. There's 5 types of healthcare in America today if you're an individual having to purchase insurance. The first type is a discount plan. You do not want a discount plan. You want real insurance. A discount plan, it's kind of like if you buy a dress for $100 and they knock 70% off, okay? Well, you still owe $30. Well, if you had a $100,000 bill and you had a discount plan, even if it knocks 70% off, you still owe $30,000 out of pocket. So this is a no-no. So you want to draw a line through discount plan, and to the right of that, you want to write real insurance. The second one is what we call an HMO. This is a health maintenance organization. These companies are the Jiffy Lube of our business. You know, if you need to get your oil changed, okay, you go to Jiffy Lube. But if your car needs to be serviced, it needs actual engine repair, you need to go to a mechanic. You never want to have an oil change place as your insurance company, hypothetically speaking. Okay, so an HMO has a gatekeeper. What we're going to do is we're going to tell you a couple of horrible stories about HMOs. There was a gentleman named Mr. Garvey in Chicago, Illinois. He and his wife went to Hawaii on vacation. They had an insurance company that was an HMO out of Chicago. She got very ill, very serious, had to be hospitalized in Honolulu, and she got what's called a plastic anemia. It's a very serious condition requiring a bone marrow transplant. The cost of the bill in Honolulu was going to be $900,000. Huge bill. Her husband contacted the HMO and said, what do we do? And they said, well, gosh, we own the facility in Chicago. We can do that surgery for $250,000, or we can send you $250,000 to Hawaii, and you have to come up with the other $650,000, the difference between $250,000 and $900,000. This is a terrible predicament they were put in. So Mr. Garvey did not have that kind of money, so he had no other choice but to take his sick wife in her condition and put her on an airplane and try to make it to Chicago. Due to the air pressure and her condition, she had a stroke in midair, and 9 days later she was deceased. This is what HMOs can do to you. You do not want an HMO, you want a PPO, which is called a Physicians Provider Organization, which means you can go to any doctor, any hospital in the network, even across state lines, with the same insurance. Can you imagine if you had car insurance in Miami, Florida, and if you left Miami to drive to Orlando to go to Disney World, you have no insurance on your car? Why in the world would you would never do this for your car. Why in the world would you ever think about doing this with your own health care? You don't have to. So HMOs are not something that you want. They also have a gatekeeper. So an HMO, you have to get permission from that gatekeeper. They might tell you they cover you in other places, but they could, if the bill's big enough, they can say no. These doctors own the facility and they're paid bonuses to keep you out of the hospital with all this regular maintenance care. So it's not something you want for your health care for you or for you and your family. The third program that we have that I want you to write the name down, then draw a line through it, is what's called a hospital surgical plan. Hospital surgical plans only cover you stay overnight in the hospital. Okay, they do not cover outpatient. 75 to 80% of all procedures these days are outpatient. You would never want to purchase a plan that only covers inpatient. It needs to cover both inpatient and outpatient. So please draw a line on your pad through the word hospital surgical and to the right. It needs to cover inpatient and outpatient. Fourthly, we like to talk about fee schedule plans. These plans are very disguised. They appear like they're major medical, but they're not. So what happens is it says on the first page of your policy, we cover 100% of covered charges. When in fact, if you look on page 7 it says the covered charges have a cap limit on it of $500,000. So just think about this. Think about Mrs. Garvey when she went to Honolulu. Here she had a bill for $900,000. If she had a fee schedule plan that limits $500,000, she would owe 1, her deductible, 2, coinsurance, and 3, the difference between $500,000 and $900,000. That's $400 and some odd thousand dollars out of pocket. So in summary, your defensive program that we'll put in place for you is we'll eliminate the discount plan. You're going to have real insurance. You're going to have a PPO instead of HMO. You're going to have a program that covers you in the hospital and outpatient also. And in addition to that, you're not going to have it's going to be a major medical plan with no caps on it. We don't want any of those caps on it. What kind of plan has all these features? Well, that plan is program number 5, and that's called Comprehensive Major Medical. Write that down and put a big circle around that on your piece of paper. It only took us 5 minutes to get you to the point where you now know more about healthcare than everybody that lives in your neighborhood, unless you've got a doctor that lives next door. As you can see, there's 9 characteristics of major medical comprehensive insurance. The first thing you want is you want a nationwide coverage, okay? You want to be able to travel into different areas, go into different states, and have the same insurance and have the top doctors and top hospitals all over the country. This is very important. The second thing you want is you want it to be a PPO. When you get what's called a PPO discount, you can go to these doctor's offices, that kind of thing, and in the hospitals, and they'll knock 70% off your bill just right from the beginning. With an HMO, you don't get this PPO discount. In addition, your plan must have a really good prescription card. I don't want you to have to meet your major medical deductible for you to have to, for generic and name brand and formulary. It's all copays. The next on our list is you must have transplant coverage that's included. We don't want transplants that are limited at like 100,000, 250 or 500,000 or no coverage at all. And we don't want you to have to pay extra for this transplant coverage. It should be included. Also, you want no dollar maximum limits on your plan. As you know, in the Affordable Care Act, one of the things that's great about it is insurance companies in the past could limit your coverage at $500,000 or $1 million. Those dollar maximums are gone now, and we intend on keeping that. Even though we're going to make some adjustments, we can plan on keeping that. Also, you must have outpatient and inpatient coverage, as we discussed before. In addition, therapy coverage. You need outpatient therapy coverage. You need inpatient therapy coverage. I had a client one time who was with some other company. She was a young girl, 23 years old, and she was playing tennis and tore her Achilles heel. To save a little money, she got one of those fee schedule plans that has all these limits on it. She had 33 visits to the doctor to repair her Achilles heel that was torn, and it only covered 3 of them. This is a big no-no. Once we put these 7 items in place, then we have to teach you how are we going to get the price down and the benefits up. One of the ways we do this is when we raise your deductible, we're going to lower your price 75%. Once we lower your price 75%, then we're going to do the GoInsurancePAL reinsurance program. And we're going to take a portion of those savings, around 25%, and we're going to purchase an accident injury rider, and we're also going to purchase a term life insurance policy. Just like in sports, you cannot win if you don't have an offense and a defense. At GoInsurancePAL, we put the defense in place first. This is most important because we're responsible for your claims. Now it's time for the offense. So this is what you want to get your notepad and paper ready to go. If you need to turn the page, we'll give you just a second. This offensive program that I've designed solves the Affordable Care Act problems. So what we're going to show you today is how to get your price down. We're going to teach you how to get your benefits up. We're going to show you how to get someone else to give you the money to cover your deductible and your out-of-pocket expenses. Are you ready? All right, let's go. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach you our secret sauce. What we do is we raise your deductible, which is going to lower your price big time, most of the time around 75%. Then what we do is we take a portion of this 75% and we reinsure that with another company. Let's say you had a major $400,000 claim. Your insurance company would pay everything but 10 grand, which is your deductible. Instead of you having to write a check for that deductible, set that aside. We do not need your checkbook. And then what we will do is we'll build a reinsurance company. Now this reinsurance company has a $500,000 life insurance policy. Now it's not the typical term life insurance that you're used to. As you guys know, term life insurance is another ripoff in our industry where you have to die to get a check. Who wants to do that? No one. But this term life, which does not build cash, it has a unique feature to it that you probably have never heard of before. You can accelerate the living benefits of it. So if you get a critical or chronic illness, you can get up to 90% of your money now, and you don't have to die to get a check. And after you get the check, you don't have to die. So what happens is we have an actual client that we're going to show the details on in just a few minutes, where after she was with me about 9 months, we reduced her premium from $1,500 a month for her and her husband down to $600 by raising that deductible. Then we took 25% of the savings for her husband and 25% for her, and we bought two $500,000 term policies with accelerated living benefits, and this is what I call true life insurance. My client had stage 4 cancer, and she had bills totaling $412,000. The primary insurance company, the health insurance company, paid all but $10,000. Instead of her having to write a check for that, we went to the secondary company and billed them, and they came in and they wiped out the whole $10,000 plus put an additional $342,000 tax-free in her checking account. How would you like it is if you had a critical illness or a chronic illness and you could get $754,000 for $412,000 in bills. I have a client, and that is exactly what happened with her. How many of you out there today know what reinsurance is? You're probably going to talk to your husband or talk to your kids and say, gosh, or some of you are like, I've never even heard of reinsurance. I think I know what it is. What reinsurance is an insurance policy that insurance companies take out. For example, let's say you had a major insurance carrier in the United States and your health insurance with them is $500 a month. They're going to take about 20% of that, which is around $125. Okay, that's about 25%. And what they're going to do is they're going to buy an insurance policy with an overseas surplus lines carrier. Okay, so if anything major happens, their losses are at $25,000. So let's say that this particular client that I had this $400,000 stage 4 cancer. Okay, the reason it takes 60 to 90 days for this to pay is because the primary health insurance company has to gather all the bills and file a claim with a reinsurance. Okay, so they're only responsible for paying $25,000 of this $412,000 bill. Whereas now they're going to get a check for the difference between $25,000 and $412,000, which is $387,000. So if big insurance companies can reinsure to lower their exposure, so can you. In review, the insurance company, the primary insurance company, limited their losses at $25,000, and when they got the other money from the reinsurance, then they went and paid the claim minus the deductible and coinsurance. That's how reinsurance works. That's why insurance companies have the tallest buildings. They pay unreal amount of commissions. They're able to have the luxury life, and that's why a lot of you out there don't like them. You think, oh, these insurance companies never have a bad day. Well, insurance companies know what they're doing, and they have great tools. When you use insurance as a tool to get you to the finish line and to lower your exposure at the same time, this is how championships are won. Up until recently, until I put this program together, The individual client who's purchasing health care could not reinsure also. What we're teaching you to do today is to lower your exposure. So in the case of my client that had a $412,000 worth of stage 4 cancer, we got her price down. We got her benefits up. Not only did she get money to cover that $10,000, but she got, if you take $10,000 out of $352,000, she cleared $342,000 and some change, and she bought a house with it, with tax-free dollars. How does that sound? The best news about my client is she went through chemotherapy, 26 doctors and hospitals and providers, and they saved her life. Her hair's grown back, and she's cancer-free. The last part is, what do you do next? Well, what you do is what they do when you're in a whitewater rafting boat. Many of you have a lot of talent. You're doctors, you're lawyers, you're business owners. You know what you're doing. But when you go whitewater rafting, you're not familiar with the river. You're not familiar with how everything works. That's why you want to get in that boat with a guide and let your guide do this for you. So not only did we create the program, hypothetically, in this instance, we created the river and how to get by all those Class 5 rapids. What you should do next is go to our website, which is www.GoInsurancePAL, all one word, GoInsurancePAL.com, and check out our website. Our contact information is on the website, and you can give us a call. The way we begin this process is we will send you an intake form, which has all your basic information, and then we price everything out for you. We fill out your apps totally, your applications with the primary insurance totally, and we fill out your applications with the secondary insurance policy totally, then we send it to you or meet with you where you can sign everything off and get started. You just put a voided check with it and that's it. We hope you've enjoyed this program today. We believe this is the total solution for the Affordable Care Act, and we know you getting reinsurance for yourself, just like the insurance companies get it for themselves, is how you can have the tallest building, just like an insurance company, financially in your life. Thank you, and God bless you.